5, we've got smoke. 4, 3, we've got ignition. 2, 1, we've got RIP takeoff. RIP takeoff. Self Love Show is back in the building. Today we're unpacking Dr. Claude Anderson's Powernomics. And how has it aged? That's what we're going to unpack here today. Show starts in about 5 minutes. You're going to see some videos. So we ask you if you could please take this time. If you appreciate the content, to go ahead and like, share, subscribe, and post this link onto all of your social media. And we definitely appreciate it as the channel's growing slowly but for surely. Shot time. You can handle your business on your ready, sir.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
We are, as they say, tangled in our anchor chain. Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
In entering upon this course of instruction, each of you should, so far as possible, lay aside for the time being all previous theories and beliefs. By so doing, you will be saved the trouble of trying all the way through the show to put, quote, new wine into old wineskins, end quote. Luke chapter 5, verse 37. If there's anything as we proceed which you don't understand or agree with, just let it lie passively in your mind until you have enjoyed the entire show. For many statements that would at first arouse antagonism and discussion will be cleared and easily accepted a little farther on. After the show is over, if you wish to return to your old beliefs and ways of living, you are at perfect liberty to do so. But for the time being, be willing to become as a little child. For said the Master in spiritual things, quote, except ye become as little children, ye shall in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven, end quote. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. If at times there seems to be repetition, please remember, the Self Love Show is a lesson, not a lecture.
I was very, very angry because I was learning about the history of what happened to us, and that's what Roots did to me. It brought a lot of those feelings out of me. And I became very disturbed by it, and I became very angry, and I started to retaliate in school. And it took my mother to come to me and tell me, it's a history, it's something that you should never forget, but you can rise above it and make an impact and make a change and make people aware of the pain that we've endured. But at first I was very disturbed by it, and I retaliated in some ways, violently. We used to go to other pools, and he would take me, and as soon as I get in the pool, they would get out of the pool. You don't forget your heritage, but you move forward in trying to make a better life for everyone, and that you always want to be viewed as a person. Reach back and pull someone with you.
And your cousin said to you, why do you talk like a white girl?
It was one of those kind of moments where it was like, you're not like us. And it was because of my speech. At this point, the viewers who are watching this, there are a lot of people nodding Because when you grow up in the neighborhood, you know, you could get your butt kicked going to school if you looked too uppity or if you were studying too hard. So I had to grow up learning these two languages of how do I fit in with my family and my community and still excel. This wouldn't be the first time that my identity would be challenged. My parents from very early age encouraged us to put our opinions on the table, to ask questions, to question the context of situations. You could speak your mind, but you had to be respectful, you know, and if you got out of hand, you got to look, you get a spanking. They weren't freewheeling parents. They were still black parents.
But you know, I saw it like everybody else saw it. It looks like a white people attacking a black man.
Start shortly, 2 minutes.
I thought that. I felt that. I felt that was the case. What everybody's thinking. But you know, I don't know the hearts of those men. I have no idea what's in their hearts.
Right.
Brother,
I'm wiping it though. I'm gonna wipe it. I'm gonna wipe it. I'm gonna say, hey.
Tori's oldest brother. You know, between us, Tori made me at Beta, and so you know, he just wanted to say a few words before we let you go here.
Okay. Yeah.
Brother Thomas, thank you so much for gracing us with your appearance, man. Grateful. You expanded our nation beyond belief. It's just a wonderful thing. And we would like to present you with the Self Luv Show first annual Ernest Lee Thomas Achievement Award.
Oh man.
It's
Oh,
apropos that you are the first recipient.
And nope, we call it the Raj.
We're gonna call it the Raj.
Oh, I love it. Oh man.
Yeah, so we have it on order. You know, we so it's gonna come here. We're gonna show it to the show, and then myself or Tasia deliver it to you or ship it to you from there.
Thank you, brother.
No,
Please like, share,
they're
subscribe.
ignorant. That's ignorant. They're ignorant. That's ignorant.
Powernomics,
They're
yeah.
ignorant. That's ignorant.
Self Love Show starts in 1 minute. Please like, share, subscribe.
And even in this instance, if I could be a service to a 9-year-old girl or a 19-year-old woman or girl who wants to be a woman, is to really remember that self-love is the best way that you can receive love from anybody else, because it's coming from. A lot of times we forget that. We look externally for this love. We look externally for this feeling of validation and adoration and approval, and it has to come from within.
Facts. Please like, share, and subscribe. Powernomics today. How has it aged?
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill.
The last time.
Story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want.
This is the last
Take the
time.
red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Handle the truth. You be down. Truth. Getting me? Truth. All right, shot time. Music, please. In the building. Hey, y'all. Welcome to another edition of the Self Love Show. We're just queuing up sound here. All right. Welcome to the Self Love Show. Self Love Vision. This is your co-host. You can only find us on TATN. This ain't that network. And it's the co-host, 9 Millie. First off, all praise due to the ancestors, the Most High, and my late beloved Mama Sky. Big ups. In today's episode, we're going to go ahead and be talking about the work of Dr. Claude Anderson, a noted Black author and social commentator. He's the author of a powerful book, Powernomics, the National Plan to Empower Black America, which outlines a 5-year plan out there to make Black communities more self-sufficient and economically competitive, closing the gap out there. We'll discuss key tenets of Powernomics. We'll also talk about some of the challenges that our communities face in achieving economic empowerment and the ways in which Powernomics can help to overcome these challenges. So if you're interested in learning more about how Black folks can achieve economic empowerment, then today's show is for you. Sit back, relax, and enjoy another edutaining episode of the Self Love Show. These are lessons, not lectures. We're live in living color on Tuesday, September 12th, 2023 at about 6:20, 4:20 out here on the left coast. And as always, you cats can be anywhere in this magnanimous universe. And thankfully, we all Scooter chose to be here together. Here together. What down? Brother Wordsmith, what you manifesting today?
Love, man. Manifesting love. What you manifesting?
Ditto, good brother. Pure, magnanimous, unfiltered. Some have said harsh. Many have said hard, but tough love just the same.
No doubt.
Facts. So, what's been going on since we last canoided in your neck of this country?
We had a little technical difficulty here. Start off the show. Couple of things on the Chicago end. But 9 Mil traveled another time around the sun. That was a huge since the last time we met.
Oh, yeah. Another time around go, huh?
Yeah, happy born day, brother.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. And R.I.P. to Dominus Otis.
What?
Yeah, Dominus Otis. Yep.
Man, I ain't heard about that, man.
It was on the same thread as the birthday.
Wow.
Pizzo had put that out there before, and I said R.I.P. and then I said happy born day to you, and then everything went happy born day from there.
Man, I was just thinking about Dominus, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
R.I.P.
That's that's damage. That I could tear up something in your crib. That's damage. Yeah, I know that's damage. That's $9.99, but give it to me.
Well, like 99 times 9. Damage he was doing.
Rest in peace. Good brother, man.
Carry the keg by itself.
Yeah. Up 2 flights of stairs. No back technique. I'm like, man, use your legs. You just pick it right up. But all right, what to expect on today's show? We always kick it off with the Self Love Show quote of the day. We have our more growth and development video. That's where we show the shenanigans of our government. We'll decide if those shenanigans are what we're paying them to do or not. Well, that's tattoo tyranny. And then we have dome teaser. Your mind is a terrible thing to waste, so we'll give you a riddle. You guys won't solve it because you're not processing. You're like a black quarterback. You can't think through things. Go to your next, projection, your next, many of you can, most of you probably can't. So if you don't get the answer, self-love normally gets it, but if not, I'll go ahead and provide you guys, both the thinkers and the non-thinkers, with the key at the very end of the show. So definitely stick around for that. And the topic, Dr. Claude Anderson's Powernomics. How has it aged out there? Unpacked. Is he Nostradamus? Phone lines are open. That number's 424-900-6945. That number's what?
Troll free.
Once again, that number's 424-900-6945. That number's what?
Absolutely, positively troll free.
That's right. Trolls get hoes out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'll be your Huckleberry.
Let's go viral.
All right. Yeah, let's do it. So you guys, please take the time, ladies and gentlemen, to smash that like button. Big ups to Cap TV. I see Cap TV is in the building. Love the content. Cap TV in the building. Big ups. And then we're going to wrap it up with my personal favorite part of the whole shebang, and that's where this brother summarizes our show in some metaphysical prose right up top of the dome. Looking forward to that. First, any announcements?
Like, share, subscribe. Midwest Festivals is having an event on September 23rd. I will get some information out.
Midwest Fest, that's who did this, ain't it?
Yes, y'all. Don't
big
stop.
Ups. Big ups Midwest Fest. Yeah, let us know, bro. Yeah, I just add to that. You guys stop the violence and make sure you're getting your regular health checkups. None of us are getting any younger out there. And if there's any body in the chat, any business people or anyone who's studied this Powernomics, we definitely love to hear from you. We like to hear from all of you guys. This is interactive, so let us know what's up. So enough of my yapping. I'll turn it over to this brother so he can handle his business.
Welcome to the Self Love Show. Today we are unpacking Dr. Claude Anderson's Powernomics. How's it aged? Let's talk about it. As always, we have a very important video, a silverback more growth and development platform, which we are building the Self Love Nation off of. And as always, we have the Self Love Show quote of the day. Racism is a team sport. You either play as a team or you lose by default. Racism is a team sport. You either play as a team or you lose by default. Dr. Claude Anderson. Silverback More Growth and Development Platform. Number 1, repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. And 3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town. 4, to shine a light on positive influence. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless.
9,
close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen.
We're closing the gap.
Leave me alone and let me live.
And 10, protect our women, children, and men by any and all means necessary.
Absolutely. That's the platform. Tune in or tune out, stand by or stand back, whatever it is. All right. But if you guys didn't catch our show last week, that one is food, how to prepare for natural calamity out there.
Whoa.
Unpacked.
Man, that was packed full of information, things you need to do, things you should collect. Yeah, it's a whole lot of information, and I suggest you going back and check it out. Check it out.
Check it out. Check it out. Yeah, I did all that. And big ups to Wakil L. He's in the building. And we got TV Studio D in the building. Big ups.
All right.
Cosmo D in the building. All right. So Self, did you see we got more last week we covered eminent domain. We got some more eminent domination. This one's part 93. I know you stay pretty unplugged out there.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this.
Well, big ups to Inside Edition, and you guys let us know if this is tyranny or if you like it.
Leave me alone and let me live in peace. That is my theme.
Josephine Wright from Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, is battling a development company that she says is trying to force her off her land to build a new residential subdivision.
Actually, it began a little over a year ago. They were cutting down the trees, and we could hear this boom, boom, boom. Some of these trees have been here for 100 years.
The 93-year-old has lived in the home for 30 years. The property is full of history and wildlife, and it has been in her family since the end of the Civil War.
The wildlife, the wildlife habitat, the peace and tranquility.
Bailey Point Investment LLC
Up there, gorgeous.
constructed Bailey's Cove Housing Development, a neighborhood with 147 homes, and is suing.
They said I had a satellite on the property where they purchased. They also said we had a utility building that was partially on their property. However, anyone knows, if you know anything about property and buying stuff, when you purchase a property, you purchase everything on it. So why would I be encroachment?
She's more savvy than the president and the people in Congress.
Man.
My granddaughter, Sharif, her sister, was in the shower and someone was looking in the window.
What?
They came on my property
Oh my God.
during that time, walking all around my property. And she just let out a terrible scream. When we came out of the house to go to church, I'd say about 4 months ago, my 2 rear tires were flat. And a week after that, I come out of my door, and on my window of my front room was a snake about the size of 12 feet. Now, I cannot definitely say they are responsible because I did not see who did. I just know that these little things were intimidation to me.
And years ago, a realtor offered her money.
And she said, well, you know, we have a person that's interested in buying your property. And I said, really? Well, what are you offering? And she said, well, they said $39,000. I said, don't insult my intelligence.
See how close it is to the
Please
water.
get out of my house.
Man.
A GoFundMe was created to raise money for legal fees,
Yeah, it's on
property
the
taxes,
island.
and more. It's gotten the attention of her community, the nation, and A-list celebrities.
Thank you for your help and for your support. Snoop Dogg and all of those, and Tyler Perry
He's a
and
crip.
Fantasia and Irving, the football, all of these people I give so much thanks to because they were the ones really responsible in highlighting this problem. So when I say that,
Snoop's probably looking through the window.
Oh boy, my heart just goes out to them.
Construction is halted on the development.
I haven't heard a word from them since the town shut them down. They cannot build anything on Hilton Head.
Until they settle this, until this is resolved completely.
Yes. Josephine says no amount of money will make her leave, and she wants her property to not only be part of her legacy, but the legacy of her 7 children, 40 grandchildren, 50 great-grandchildren, and 16 great-great-grandchildren.
Without your help,
they're going to sell it first chance they get.
We love this property, and we are going to stay here, and we're going to make sure that this becomes a historical site so that there will be no one moving in on this property.
Right. That's right.
I'm firmly against getting rid of my property.
That's right.
And I mean to stay on it as long as I live.
When asked for comment by Inside Edition,
she should have in her will even beyond that.
Investment LLC employee said, quote, "I don't think we'd be interested at this time," and hung up. Inside Edition Digital also reached out to Bailey Point Investment LLC's lawyer for comment and did not hear back. For Inside Edition Digital.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This is, kind of what we've been up against as a people. You imagine if everybody's family still had all that historic land that, we had over the years, bro.
Man. They've taken it and done so much stuff to it. I know people whose land, got taken, they got ran off from their land and it's an airport.
Yeah.
They own the airport, really.
Yeah.
Get their land back, they own the airport.
Yeah. And then they target the seniors, come around there with all type of nickel slick contracts and just sign here, sign there. We give you free money. Then all of a sudden they own the land.
It's crazy.
It looks like she's
cut down some 100-year-old trees for some development. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, she's fighting. She's fighting. The reason I had it up is tyranny, because it seems like the government should be like the police department. They're all about protecting property and property owners' rights, right?
Well, certain people.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting vandalism, snakes, peeping toms, all types of stuff. I'd suggest they get some sort of fence up, get themselves a shotgun and put some cameras up around there, huh? So,
yeah. I don't know if you want to change it. That's just crazy, man.
Yeah, I'd like to see that
in 100 years. You got to get a fence. No, they got to stay where they need to stay.
Yeah.
Shotguns and that part, yeah.
Yeah, put some signage up. You're trespassing. You will be shot. Violators.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the NAACP get involved. Fight this type of thing. But you have to do a GoFundMe. You got to get Snoop Dogg out there. He's a Crip, ain't he?
Last I checked.
Yeah, I mean, big ups to the Crips out there. Yeah, when Coach was out here, I took him by Snoop's place. He's got a spot in Inglewood. Yeah, little strip mall right across the street from the stadium. Nice piece of property. Yeah.
Yeah, I need
looks
to
like
it's
an adult toy store, and then Snoop Dogg. Yeah. I was looking for the dispensary. You know what I mean? Not for me, of course. For the record. All right. So is that tyranny, Self?
I mean, we can 100% say that's going to be.
It's a history of that in this country. We got to get around that. All right, you guys, please like, share, subscribe. All right, today we're talking about Dr. Claude Anderson's Powernomics. How has it aged? Got one more short video clip for you under the pink crime segment. And this one's called Baby Killer. Okay. And big ups to Reuters, fair use. Baby Killer.
Lucy Letby will spend the rest of her life behind bars for murdering 7 newborn babies and trying to kill another 6, a judge ordered on Monday. She's Britain's most prolific serial child killer in modern times. The 33-year-old murdered the 5 baby boys and 2 baby girls at the neonatal unit of Countess of Chester Hospital in northern England over 13 months from 2015. She injected the infants with insulin or air or force-fed them milk. Letby refused to leave the cells to hear the sentencing.
Drop dead gorgeous.
By Judge James Goss.
This was a cruel, calculated, and cynical campaign of child murder involving the smallest and most vulnerable of children, knowing that your actions were causing significant physical suffering and would cause untold mental suffering.
I'm gonna dress like him on Halloween, get in white face.
Events relating to your
get you a nice wig and
checked up on bereaved parents.
Yeah, some white powder.
There was a deep malevolence bordering on sadism in your actions.
Some of those she attacked were twins. In one case, she murdered both siblings. In another, she killed 2 of 3 triplets. In 2 instances, she murdered 1 twin but failed in her attempts to kill the other. A handwritten note reading, "I am evil, I did this," was found during a police search of her home after her arrest. Whole life orders are very rare.
Hey,
she
says she's evil.
in Britain have received such a sentence before. They include serial killers Myra Hindley and Rosemary West. The harrowing crimes committed by Letby, who was in her 20s when she carried out her killing spree, have horrified Britain. Earlier, the court heard emotional, heart-wrenching statements from the parents of those she murdered and tried to kill. The mother of one murdered baby boy said, "There is no sentence that will ever compare to the excruciating agony that we have suffered as a consequence of your actions."
All right, hold it. We'll go. Yeah, hold that sentiment. Wakil says the NAACP is funded by them people. That's why they don't intervene when it's a move you think they would do. I'm not going to argue with that.
Not at all. That's why when you were saying it, I was kind of.
Yeah, that's, like I mean, yeah, I'd like to see them do it,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'd like to see it, but I'm not holding my breath.
Not likely. Yeah, but there you have it. Self pink crime. You know what I mean? That's you hadn't even heard about that.
No, I hadn't. That disgusting.
Now, if that was Shaniqua from Narragansett and Colfax, boy, you'd have heard about that.
Oh yeah. And even though they don't do that there, they would have strung her up. They didn't do her like that, but yeah, she was melanated.
It's amazing that she was able to get away with it so long, because the red flags have got to go up after what, 2 babies? After 2 babies, the red flags got to start going up. Like, wait a minute.
And twins, and then 2
Yeah.
out of a triplet.
Yeah.
No, what?
Yeah, who's working these shifts? Exactly. But today we're talking about Dr. Claude Anderson's Powernomics. How has it aged? Let's go ahead with our dome teaser. What occurs once in a minute, twice in a moment, and never in 999 years? Once again, what occurs once in a minute, twice in a moment, and never in 999 years? I'm typing it in the chat for you guys. Never in That's the dome teaser. Oh, let's get some spell check going here. And Self Love has entered his reply. Let's see what he's going with here. And I'll tell you, Self Love is once again correct. Self Love is correct. He's going to not give you guys the answer. He's going to give you a chance to matriculate, process, and exercise your mind and see if you can't use your brain and have the success that he has on a regular basis. All right. Yeah, so that's the riddle. Let's go ahead, Self. Enough of the appetizers out there.
Let's quench the self-love nation's thirst.
All right, big ups to our production staff, and you guys, you got all show to come up with that riddle. You're so smart. Think you're so damn smart. Think you're smarter than me? You didn't go to Ray School. September 12. This is a topic your ship, Armani, J Money suggested.
We had the elite class, or the aristocratic class. Then we had the management class, which was made up of poor whites, and we had the working class, which was black folks. See, black folk were the working class, contrary to the popular myth up until about the civil rights movement.
Powernomics.
Oh, yes.
How has it aged? Unpacked.
Oh, yes. I need that in my consciousness. I've not put that in, but Dr. Claude Anderson is a beast.
Blacks were the working class. Now, after the civil rights movement and blacks became obsolete, now poor whites and some of the other whites are claiming that they are the working class in this country.
Oh my. We need to get him on here. Why he's still with us.
He was Nostradamus.
Let's talk.
You're muted.
Thanks for telling me. That's what we're doing this thought experiment on today. Was he Nostradamus? He made quite the forecast. And
you know what's interesting? It's that early in my sound career, I got to hear him. I guess it was still early. About 5 years in. I got to work a reparations conference, and Dr. Claude Anderson was the keynote speaker.
Who was that? KKC?
No, it was with Direct Sound Audio, and it was at the refurbished old ballroom on like 45th. I think that's 45th and King Drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of the exact something ballroom. Dorothy Tillman threw it, actually. She was behind it.
She was an alderman, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was an alderman at the time.
Yeah. So what do we know about his background out there? Where is he from,
I'm not exactly sure where he's from. He happened to go to Wayne State. That's where Shelley played at. Went there.
He was born in 1938 in Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, that's what's up.
I did not know he was born in the Chi.
I kind of did, but
You just said you didn't know.
Not enough to say it.
I got you.
I felt it, but not enough to say, hey, yeah, he was born in the Chi. Nope.
And he attended Knox College. He got his bachelor's degree in political science in 1960. Then he went off to Yale, defund the, so, my spidey senses tingle a bit. But he went off to Yale, defund the Ivy League, and he received his master's in public administration in 1962. After graduating Yale, he worked as a civil rights activist. He was involved in the Freedom Rides and the March on Washington out there. He worked as a consultant to the federal government on issues of race and poverty. And in the 70s, he began to focus on economic empowerment for Black communities, founding the National Economic Development Council, which provides training and resources to Black entrepreneurs. And of course, he authored Powernomics, which has been translated into several languages and sold over 1 million copies. YQL, look at that. Yeah, public school. You're damn right, public school. You know what I mean? Ray School, William H. Ray, drop dead gorgeous school, you guys. 53rd and Kimberg, it's got the Ivy Leagues. But you're right, with your assertion there, M is in money. Big ups, all right?
Awesome.
Big ups. Look at him breaking all the barriers of the low end, ain't he? Processing. You probably could have played quarterback. They'd have moved him to defensive end, you know what I mean? Maybe tight end, let him get his knee busted out, you know, like my man did on Good Times. What was his name? Not Carl. Remember Keith. They were going to get out of Keith. Yeah, he was going to get out of projects, and JJ pulled the chair from under him. Boy, that was devastating. I was hurt. Poor little schmuck. You know, I was hurt. All right. Yeah. So, but Powernomics, Self, what was the reception of the public, and then, you know, how you received it? Because remember, he went on a Phil Donahue tour, and he was, you know, talking to a lot of people.
He had books before that. Yeah, that were, you know, impactful.
Controversial?
Yeah, impactful. Black labor, white wealth. I can't think of the next one. Powernomics.
So he's been on their ass about the exploitation.
Yes, he's been, because he's been involved in federal government, he worked for Jimmy Carter. I think he did some working with the Clintons. And he's been talking about.
Jimmy Carter said he saw a UFO, but go ahead. He did. He's one of the presidents.
He definitely said that. 100%. I just chuckled though, because it's chuckle worthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked in government for a lot of places. He started in Florida. And he's been, I don't want to get too far, but he's been an advocate of what this is for a long time now.
Right.
Powernomics is 2001, so you know what I mean.
How was it received, Powernomics, and how did you receive Powernomics, and what was your thoughts on it?
I thought it was on point. I thought that it spoke about what other groups do, and it put racism in its proper perspective, as far as I'm concerned. You know, group working together. You know, race is a social construct, but a lot of races work together to get forward, and we don't.
But a lot of your established Black leaders at the time and business people kind of went out against them and spoke out against this whole plan.
Yeah, well, they're part of the problem, and they are, you know, they're cool with the system, so they're getting greased some way.
Compromised that, yeah.
Yeah, they much compromised, because they're not working on behalf of the people. They're working on behalf of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Our so-called leaders. That's, you know, because they're not leaders. They're just.
Yeah, I likened them to like a comedian, because during those times, I don't mean a comedian like ha, but someone, say even like a Malcolm X, who's telling the truth to power.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't know enough about, in my mind, politics and economics. I knew enough about the pain of racism, but I didn't know enough, hadn't lived enough life in my mind to really, you know, form a cognizant opinion on his platform. I know he laid it out there, you know, pretty good. But I was more drawn, I don't want to say to his charisma, but to his ability to articulate his message, you know, and not back down.
And still, he does. I don't know if it's still weekly, but he's on with Boyce Watkins
Yeah.
And they do a lot of and he's still on point and pushing forward. He's one that deserves his flowers while he's here. So look him up, look into him. Let's make sure
Purchase
that
some of his joints.
Support him, make sure this elder is straight.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about his recent work he's been doing, going on different platforms, not necessarily your million follower platforms, but working with different platforms, and they're having him on and him speaking his message. I think he came on that sister show. Her name, I'm drawing a blank. Dr. She's from like DC or Baltimore. She got a podcast. You know what I'm talking about. I can't think of her name. But yeah, I forgot about that. So today, as you guys can see, we're talking about Powernomics. So we're going to get, obviously more in depth when we come back here in the second half. So, and Wakil, good and well, you went to that fancy Cosby kid school that Tory went to, and you weren't out there.
He went to the regular school I went back to when he wasn't at the.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
he went
school
at the
with
Cosby
coach. School with coaches, right? So yeah, coach wasn't in that school either.
No, coach wasn't. No.
Here y'all go. Here we are. Dr. Claude Anderson's Powernomics. How's it aged? Got into some little early commentary, but we're going to dig deep. When we come back, we got some great videos I want you to check out. And no, we'll be right back at you. The Self Love Show. The Self Love Show. We do it for our people. The Self Love Show. It's the Self Love Show. It's the Self Love Show.
Let's talk about a disaster situation. And we talk about the federal government as the institution to relieve that disaster, or local government. What I'm saying is that there is a clear procedure to follow in that situation. For instance, our illustrious leader has declared certain parts of it a disaster area. So fine. The machinery of the Red Cross or whoever cranks up and does.
But if we say on one hand that we can't depend on the federal government, then when a black person's in trouble, we say the federal government should do something.
I think in the past, when we have had disaster areas in the South, Mississippi in particular, the federal government has acted in discriminatory fashion in administering disaster aid. And one of the things that was needed then was close monitoring by a concerned black community, by skilled black people to go in.
Unity is a struggle. When the black man tries to unify, it is obvious and expected and understood that the white power structure of this country does not want that to happen. Thus, they move in many different ways, not avert, but rather cover to keep the black people divided.
I didn't care if he shot me, just not my baby, please. The last moments I had with her, she was being bad. I didn't know the nature of the crime at the time. All I know was I gotta get my baby out of here. Then he came behind the store and we saw him. He was like in military clothes. He had like this Marine fit on, a bulletproof vest, and the biggest gun I have ever seen strapped around his shoulders. And he just sat there, he watched us. He could have killed us all. When there was 3 other women, older women that worked there behind that building with me. Everybody else could jump. I couldn't, I had a baby. So therefore, we begging for our lives, and I fell begging for mine, blocking my baby with my body. And then he was like, if you don't want me to shoot you, run. And then I was scared to go with the policemen afterwards when they actually banged on the apartment door and found me. I was scared to go with them because they had the same gun wrapped around their shoulder. I was like, you look like him.
Growing up over here, shit, it was like a regular hood. I was with my homies and shit, all my friends, so we grew up playing, kicking it and shit. Then we got older, still kicking it, but other shit got to happen and shit. You know how that shit go. But like where we at, it's low income and shit. Like all these low income projects and shit, so it wasn't a lot of money. So, it tend to be where ain't a lot of money, there's a lot of violence. So growing up the hell shit, I was going to jail a lot of shit. When I got locked up for the drama and shit, like Dirk was the main one supporting me and shit, helping me. So we got even closer when I was just in jail. Then I got out. He flew me out there with him and shit. got the rapping. So me and Dirk, you know, we like.
Hey man, if your brother got on $500,000 worth of jewelry, he gonna have a lawyer. That's how we move.
Was you ever scared at any point though?
Yeah,
Cause you know
the
how
whole
they do
time. Yeah, me scared shit. Yeah, the whole time.
You was locked up, or did you get out
Yeah,
of
it's
bail?
like
Or?
no, I was, you know, there wasn't no bill. You just got to wait like till it's that time, like, and you don't know what's gonna happen to the last minute till they tell you like, all right, not guilty or guilty.
You know, we over east, man. We chilling, me and my homie, and so he was on the phone. So this how they caught us sleeping, because he was on the phone. I'm coming out the liquor store. I go to the car. He's still hollering at his homeboy at the phone. He come from the payphone to hop in the car. And while he hopping in the car, I'm thinking he just, you know, finna finish hollering at his homie. He said, man, Twitch just gonna get him what he want. I'm like, what do you mean just get him what he want? I look, man, I'm talking about, he probably had a 4.5 or whatever. The motherfucking barrel looked like the size of a peanut butter jar hole that day, goddamn it. I was like, God damn. So my instincts, I got a little jewelry on, so I snatched my arm back a little bit. And he noticed I had, man, what you doing? And it looked like he was finna bang. Then that's when my guy was like, Twist, just go and get to him. Then he heard him say, what, Twist? Then he realized it was me. And the same dude that was finna get me, he ended up telling me his rap name, broke it down to the knee, let my homie get in the car, sat there and spit a verse for me and everything, and let me go. Wow, that's what you call respect right there.
I have told them that Molotov cocktails and rifles would not solve their problems. I have tried to offer them my deepest compassion while maintaining my conviction that social change comes most meaningfully through nonviolent action. But they ask, and rightly so, what about Vietnam? They ask if our own nation wasn't using massive doses of violence to solve its problems. Their questions hit home. And I knew that I could never again raise my voice against the violence of the oppressed in the ghettos without having first spoken clearly to the greatest purveyor of violence in the world today, my own government.
As well as the blacks who speak of and who are attempting to attain liberation. So I am not standing for violence, but I do stand for self-defense.
Man, I thank you guys for inviting me on. Thank you. Great format, very solid. You know, it don't have that low budget movie feel. You know what I'm saying? And we get that a lot in the black community, for real. Yeah. Like people look at us to be fuck ups. They look at us to be low budget. They look at us to be ignorant, stuttering, and use a whole bunch of and all of that. But no, they got the real deal on here. That everybody know who Torian Mills is, baby. They know.
Hey, well, bro,
They're so ignorant.
Hey, but this platform's your platform. This platform's my platform. From Inglewood, California to
the
Chicago,
South Shore.
Crazy thing about it.
This platform is
made for you and me.
It's made for you.
The crazy and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. I was trying to get out the end of the preamble, but go ahead, bro.
Yes, sir. And we are back.
The Self Luv Show. The Self Luv Show. We wordsmith 9 meals. The Self Luv Show. The Self Luv Show. You know how the story goes. It's the Self Luv Show.
Self Luv Show. Today we are unpacking Dr. Claude Anderson's Powernomics, How It's Aged. First half, we just got into some basics a little bit. We're going to dig a little deeper, get it cracking. Y'all know how we do. It's the show. We can do it for our people. There's no equal. Wordsmith 9 Mills.
Yes, sir.
You know how the story goes.
It's
the Self Luv Show.
Hey, I want to show y'all something right quick. Is this basic? Is this the modern day blackface? Just asking. This is Joe Burrow. Can you? which screen are you seeing? Are you seeing Joe Burrow?
Now it's there's Joe Burrow. There he is.
All right. Huh? So he posted this on his page after he signed the biggest deal in NFL history. I mean, are you serious? I mean, I'd be the first to,
yeah, I don't have words. I didn't see this, and
I understand where he's coming from, but
yeah, I don't know, man.
He's a punky QB.
That's what he reminded me of in that picture. Except for he would never have done that. But
there was
got that swagger.
There was no discussion about this in the national sports.
I didn't even see that.
No one questioned his parents or his team for allowing him to post this. You know what I mean? I tell you what, I'm offended. Yeah.
Right.
All right. I'm just one person.
TATN.
Yeah.
And so I guess it's FJB, huh? F Joe Burrow, huh?
Yeah. I mean, look at that. Wow. Okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's 2023. That's why I said I'm dressing up like that magistrate.
Oh man.
For Halloween this year.
That'd be hilarious.
And give me some white makeup foundation out there. Put me some blue contact colors in. Being full white face out there. Post it. Make it a little pink. All right, but here we go. Back to Powernomics out here. Let's discuss. Let's break down its main tenets. Let's give the people a general overview. We encourage everyone to pick up the book. Anthony Orr was releasing his new book. He released his new book. I got a copy, and we're gonna get him on the show. But what do you know about Powernomics, Self? What do you know about Powernomics? Just the main.
Yeah,
tenets.
Dr. Claude Anderson feels that race has been misconstrued, and it's not about who likes who or whatever, but it's a social construct, and people who look like each other, considered the same race, operate together to work for the benefit of their race. And
Well, let's park it right there. So that's economic self-sufficiency. That's one of the main pillars of Powernomics. He asserts that Black folks need to build their own businesses and invest in our own communities. This will thus create jobs and wealth within the Black community and reduce the need for dependence on outside sources.
yes. And next is educational. We should be educating our children in these tenets.
Educational empowerment. Both of these we've talked about on the Self Luv Show.
Oh yeah,
ad nauseum.
Ad nauseum. And then
So educational empowerment. Black people need to focus on education and skills training. This will give us tools we need to succeed in the workforce and build wealth. Go ahead.
And talks about political power, making
Political
sure
empowerment. Absolutely. Go ahead.
You're securing something for your vote prior to.
But Ice Cube said that it didn't come from Sierra or what's the girl's name who likes to shake her thing? Big upset, Cardi B. It didn't come from Cardi B or Kim Kardashian with the big bum. God, dear gorgeous.
Dr. Claude Anderson has been out there for quite some time, and he's made a lot of sense for a long time. So,
no,
if you get a vote, if you're going to vote for somebody, it needs to be for something. Every other group in this racism or race situation is getting something for their vote.
And you know what, Self? as I was researching this, one of the sources said that, and we'll get more into what's come true and what's not, but they kind of said that it's a knock on Dr. Anderson's whole platform, that he was saying that black folks wouldn't have any, black representation. And I think they're misunderstanding where he's coming from. Because to your last point, I can care less what color this person is. This person could be pink, purple, green, yellow, fuchsia, you know what I mean? Crimson, cream. If that person has the B1 in mind, the FBA in mind, and every step is going to give something tangible, that person's representing us. So what I'm saying is, just because we have more black faces or people who quote unquote look like us in office, that doesn't necessarily mean that we have representation. What do you say to that?
He says we don't have representation for the most part. Some of these people have been there 40 years and have the worst districts in America. And
yeah, but they'll be heroes once they pass along.
Well, they're complicit. That's all I got to say. They're complicit. They're comfortable with getting their raises and their between 174,000 to 250,000 salary, along with all
kickbacks,
the lobbyist kickbacks and things of that nature. So they're complicit.
We should call those kickblacks.
Well, it's happening for all of them. So shit, every one of those people out there.
Yeah, but when you kick blacks, you get kickbacks for kicking the blacks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let me get the camera on. So to your point about economic or political empowerment, black folks need to take control of our political representation. He's saying this means voting for candidates, to your point, who support black interests, and then also running for office ourselves. So all skin folk ain't kinfolk. I'll just put it to you like that.
They might be kinfolk, but how many of us don't mess with some of our family because of how they do?
Man, I went over there to the shenanigans store self, and my man had at the store, he was using the TV stick, the Fire TV stick, and I was telling him what I pay, through a family member. He's paying half, to a total stranger.
Hey, well,
you know what I mean? Exact same features.
Well, you know how that goes.
But to your point,
all of those systems ain't the same. So
that's true. But he did claim to have everything.
Yeah.
Couldn't hurt me to look into it for 1 month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, because I got 2 of them. That's $30 a month. That saved me $360, a year. Hey, I'm not the type of person to wipe my ass for $360. I don't wipe my bum.
If it's true, you don't wipe your bum.
With $360.
Oh, okay.
And look at Mr. I don't need toilet paper, darn calamity. Talking about I don't wipe my bum. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm just saying, you got towels and all kinds of shit for that. If it comes down to it, that's not a complete necessity for me.
We digress. So we mentioned economic self-sufficiency, Powernomics. We mentioned political empowerment. We mentioned educational empowerment. Can you think of anything else that this brother was harping on, and and saying that if we don't get a hold of this soon, then it just may not be a later.
We have to combine our monies. We have to.
Yeah, that's economic self-sufficiency. That's all wrapped up in that.
Yeah, but that's so important. We got to come together and be unity anyway.
Yes. Now that sounds like you're going to where cultural empowerment.
Yeah, we got to operate as one. That's the thing. And the quote of the day said that.
Yeah, what did he say?
It said racism. Either you
it's a team sport.
Either you operate as one or you lose by default.
That's right. That's right. You know, that's right. You know, cultural empowerment was his fourth tenet. Black people need to celebrate our culture and heritage. This helps build a sense of pride and identity, which is essential for any form of empowerment. So that goes into kind of education as well. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We need to be made aware of this. I notice, like, even as I follow gang members / drill rappers / whatever you want to call them, as they get older, as we all do, they start running into books and they start slowing down. They're not at the club all night popping pills, making it rain, or whatever their lifestyle is. We all have fun. I'm not judging anyone, but I'm saying they do seem, most of them, if not all of them, start to kind of get into the history of it, which we used to put first. As part of paying your dues, you learned your culture and your history, and you learned all that while you were studying music, whatever. But now they do. I have noticed that if they aren't murdered or in jail, they start to come back to culture. If that made any sense.
Yeah. I have to take your word for it. A lot of them, I don't, follow them like that. So.
Yeah. And then social empowerment, I think you were kind of commenting on that. We need to work together to solve our problems. This means building strong community ties and supporting one another. That's
as well as not agreeing with negative stereotypes that is put out.
Negative narratives. Go ahead. Negative narratives.
We put our own narratives into what.
Yes.
And work together on it, and not have melanated promoting the ignorant. I know it's going to be some ignorant among us. Ignorant. It's going to be
No, but there is going to be that. No, I got you. Not highlighting it,
but
not
promoting it.
Yes,
we're the greatest promoters of it, and that is an issue.
We are. We'll find everything wrong about this man, Dr. Claude Anderson, which nobody's perfect, and we'll first chance we get to talk about that. We've never talked about Powernomics or anything good he said. So, but the first time the narrative comes out there and says he did this and that's negative, you know what I mean? Oh, now Black Twitter and Black internet.
They say he's racist.
Yeah, he did this. Yeah.
It's not gonna. His description of racism is wrong.
Yeah.
Those are the so-called leaders that have been so-called voted in office. They useless.
And a lot of these so-called leaders have been compromised in other ways than money. Things like Epstein Island, if they're on a higher level, but they're smaller versions of Epstein Island. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
What was the mayor of DC's name? Yeah, well, they had him in a little shithole hotel, they Epstein Island him.
Oh, Marion Barry.
Give him my crack. Yeah, that B set me up. Give me my crack. I'm out of here, whatever it was.
Well, old girl basically kept, to give him some, get his action. She basically entrapped him for that.
Yeah.
He was like, you're going to smoke this crack you're going to.
Yeah, but the Black community piled on him. And I wish we didn't do it.
Yeah.
I wish we didn't do it.
I think I piled on too at the time.
I mean, we were younger.
Ignorant. I was ignorant.
Hey, but he came back, and one thing about DC, they voted him back in the second time. So big ups.
I mean, because he did things right by the people.
Again, that's what we're talking about.
Right. He just
I don't care if he's purple,
action.
yellow, green.
He just liked a little action,
might do a little crack on the side, you know what I mean?
He wasn't even trying to do it though. That's the whole thing. She was like, okay, get
what do you
this
think
action.
the bigger issue was? That he wasn't with a misgender, or that he was with a drop dead gorgeous white girl? You know, that could have been part of the issue.
It was entrapment of the crack.
No, but I mean, why black folks piled on?
It was the crack out there, because a
think
lot
it was
of
the
black
crack?
folks don't mind the
We missplayed crack. You know, my little homie Leonard always says that we misplayed that too, with all the shenanigans and hootling and hollering about it and making fun of the customers. You know what I mean? Yeah, we ruined that. You know, we need to have some dignity to our point. You know, you don't see white folks piling on about pills and MEP. But we got Matt started. He said every race has a negative side. What's up, family? What up, Matt?
What up?
You know what I'm saying?
What happening? What happening?
Yeah. If y'all didn't check the show with Matt started, make sure y'all check that out.
Man, check it out. Check it out.
Right here on TATN. He shocked me when he said what he would tell his 9-year-old self. I wasn't expecting that at all. But I shouldn't be surprised
by anything at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, when
still are though, because I was shocked by that story earlier, the chick killing the babies, man. That was shocking.
Hey, it happens, you know. So ultimately, Powernomics is a comprehensive plan for Black economic empowerment. It's based on the idea that Black folks need to take control of our own destiny and build our own wealth and power. Let's get more into how has it aged and versus predictions. So one of his predictions was that the Black middle class, if we didn't take action, will continue to shrink. What would you say to that prediction?
100%, and still shrinking.
You're right. That prediction has come true. The Black middle class has been shrinking for decades, and this trend is expected to continue. So he's 1 for 1. How about the Black poverty rate out there? The Black poverty rate will remain high, and we remain the lowest on the totem pole.
Absolutely, it's continued to be true.
Once again, Self Love, you and Dr. Claude Anderson are correct. I suggest you guys pick up Powernomics. This prediction has also come true. The Black poverty rate is currently twice as high as the white poverty rate out there. Twice as high. Big ups on that sobriety, Matt. Black-owned businesses will continue to struggle. So this is what Dr. Anderson predicted.
As a whole, yes, because we I don't know. Seems like the white man's water tastes better than the black man's water, because we sure go across the street, down the block.
That's programming.
Couple of miles and around the corner instead of going across the street to support us. And that's got to change.
Brother, would you say that's programming or training?
Both.
Both. I agree. Both. We're programmed by the establishment. We're trained by the people who love us.
Yeah. Yep. And they think they're telling us the best for us or whatever, but we all got to look within to find the best for yourself.
Facts. So yeah, that prediction has come true. Black-owned businesses are less likely to succeed than their white-owned counterpart businesses. And that's from a lack of support.
All the way around, because they tell us all kinds of crap like, hey, pull yourself by your own bootstraps, while they get all kinds of benefits. Being in business, you can get a lot of benefits, but when you're melanated, you don't get the same kind of benefits. You don't get the same help. Like banks will work with you. When you're melanated, you tend to get the small business loan, where somebody else might get a $500,000 loan.
Not to mention private investors.
Yeah.
You know, you can tap into more. There's a greater pool of people who may have generational wealth to some extent. who can, have the discretionary income to say, hey, Self Love, I'm gonna go ahead and, break you off with a $20,000 check for your project, no problem.
Yeah.
But yes, the main thing is what you just said, essentially the redlining for the way other people get started, bottom line.
Yeah. Yes. And it's a real issue, and it is racism. And it don't really have nothing with hating you. It's just doing more for your race than anybody else.
The data, Matt, is coming from the this is data from the federal government. Small business loans with terrible interest, I think, that will charge when a Republican is in office. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think this and that, but we've had Republicans, Democrats. We've had them all in office. What, Self?
It's seldom been in our favor. So, I mean, like, since
I saw businesses going up when Clinton was in office.
Since Reconstruction. Well, when
Bill Clinton put more projects in the hood than Barry Obama.
It was an empowerment stage when they were cooking the books. A lot of people went to prison after Clinton. They were cooking the books. So they was making records that had never been seen. And it was a reason for it, because it was fallacy.
So they put up some smoke and mirrors, but they were stealing.
I mean, that's when Makeoff. And he had a perfect name until he got caught.
Madoff.
Yeah, Madoff, Makeoff is the same difference. He made off with everybody's dough. He made off. Makeoff, Madoff, yeah, made off with everybody's dough. Perfect name.
To Matt's point, COVID, things have shifted. I know that was a play, in my opinion, on small businesses in general.
Oh, it was shutting all that down. They've been in the process of that for quite some time. With the growth of Walmart and
7-Eleven. During COVID, 7-Eleven was building so many stores while these small mom and pop local corner businesses were going out of business. Had been in business for years. Took the check. Government paid them to go out of business. Yeah, government paid them to go out of business.
Or they didn't get no check and had to go out of business. That part.
According to the media, the rappers took all the checks. And that's what they run out in front of the cameras. But I gotta believe that all that money wasn't coming to Shaniqua and Pookie and Ray Ray. What do you say to that, Self Love?
I'm saying none of it was. Anytime you got celebrities asking the public for money, it's a sham, because they got way more money than the public.
Well, part of what Dr. Anderson was saying, what I remember, is his urgency. And he always seems to have a sense of urgency.
Oh, yeah, because he said that the melanated people as a race are going to have a negative value coming very shortly if we don't. I mean, he started this book was written in 2001. It's 22 years later. And he's still saying, like, if we don't work cooperative economics and group economics and group think, we're going to have a negative income, negative value or worth.
Now, am I wrong? Because ultimately, my question is, then, is it too late? Am I wrong? Because is this a fallacy? I think it's never too late. Never too late, never too late, never too late, never too late.
Yeah, I mean, I
Broken hearted. Hustle. I'm happy and I'm black and I'm singing and I'm shouting. Oh, my love. 1,000 kisses from you and my, oh, my. Never too late, never too late. So is that a fallacy?
don't quit your day job out there. I feel like it's never too late as well, but at the same time, it could still get to the negative. But if we never start, then it'll never turn around. If you can understand that.
No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant. They're ignorant. That's ignorant.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. And if you guys can please just bear with us, the producers in my ear, we have to get a word from our sponsors.
Cool weekends in the morning, 97.1 FM. Cool weekends in the morning with Weenie in the butt. WQHG 97.1. 97.1. 97.1. Weenie in the butt. In the morning, cool weekends. FM. Weenie. And the butt. Manic Monkey 97.1. Cool weekends in the morning. All weekend long. Weenie and the butt. In the morning. On the radio. FM. Dickie the Punchline Donkey on Cool 97.1. Cool weekend. On the radio. In the morning. FM. Cool. WQHG. Cool weekends. In the morning. On 97.1. 97.1. Weenie in the butt. 97.1. In the afternoon. In the afternoon.
Oh my God.
WQHG. Turn it on and rip the knob off. You're listening to the radio. We have a butt.
All right. Big ups to 97.1. Those are the sponsors of TATN. If you want to join our sponsorship movement, just reach out to us. We can, get you out here on the internet. So is it too late, Self? Is it too late? Ultimately, that's my question. Well, in my mind, I'm going to say no. I'm a firm, staunch believer that today is the first day of the rest of our lives, all of our lives. It's never too late.
Ever. Anything.
What do you think are some keys to implementing this philosophy, to getting it to take? I mean, nobody wanted to listen to Ice Cube when he said it, but they listened to big ups to her too. I love Cardi B. She's got a good heart. She just, probably don't, you know what I mean? I don't know, but I'm saying they'll listen to Cardi B. Maybe we need to reach out to Cardi B and have her sit down with Ice Cube and talk, and then maybe we can come up with something.
Well, I don't think going through celebrity is the right move, because they're co-opted. They're paid actors to do what's going to advance them in their career. So entertainers and that such, and these politicians, they're paid actors too, as far as I'm concerned. If you got in the district and it was the worst district and you're still there 40 years later, you're complicit. Even 5 years later, you're complicit. We need to move in a different direction. And unless we get guarantees from these politicians, they don't get a vote. And lesser of two evils is still evil, until they gonna move in our favor We don't need to move. I mean, it's just that simple to me.
You know, let me just paint a picture of what I think you just said. You know, you're at a big feast, big table like the Last Supper. And, you know, there's 12 people there. Out of those 12, four want chicken, 4 want beef. And then there's 4 others who are there who vote for what they want, helping, let's say, for instance, the last 4 people were black, and we vote the way that the blue people who want beef, and we consistently vote so that they can have beef, but then we get no beef once the food is prepared. We've helped them decide what they wanted to eat, and we're not promised any beef. Now, we might get some that's left on the bone, you know, the stuff that may go out to the dogs, you know, the scraps that we can scrape off. Right, Self?
How about we don't eat beef?
Yeah.
We
Or
want
even we
chicken. But there's, you know.
Well, but even if we vote for chicken, if that's what we want, then we vote for chicken. Yeah, but
we vote for beef because that's the only thing that's gonna really happen. Is chicken's not even an option. We don't even eat beef or pork.
yeah. Yeah, so we'll say beef and pork are the options. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We don't even eat beef. And we
Yes.
vote beef.
Yes. 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 And we don't get anything. And what we're saying is, hey, I don't eat any of that. Or, hey, what am I going to get for voting for beef or pork?
Oh, once we get in office, and
we'll decide. Sit down.
You vote for beef. You vote for beef. We're gonna have some set asides.
You told me that but you told me that yesterday before dinner.
We're gonna get you some chicken once we voted in. We're gonna get
But
you.
you
some
told
chicken.
me that you told me that yesterday and the day before and the day before, and you told my parents that.
It's not time yet. I mean, we didn't get voted in. Once we get voted in, then you can get. We're gonna have the chicken for you.
Well, you're not black if you don't vote for beef.
Yeah, I mean, you want pork? Yeah, I mean, so you want pork? I don't want beef or pork. I want chicken.
But the celebrities run out there and tell you want beef.
Yeah, all day long. Unless they the ones that want pork. They'll say that too. Those people.
So if you guys aren't following what we're saying is it's okay not to vote. Because either way, we're either going to get nothing or we're going to get beef or we're going to get pork. You know, but what they're saying is, well, vote for beef since it's less disgusting than pork. But we're not getting any beef. But once we vote for beef, we don't get any beef. We don't even get any beef, Self. They don't give us any beef.
Right. We won't even eat the beef. So it's like.
Well, no, let's say we eat beef and we don't eat pork. You know, once we vote for the beef, they don't even give us any beef. Like, we don't even negotiate. Okay, if you win, you have to give us X pounds of beef. Right? We don't even negotiate.
That's supposed to be right. That's supposed to be for the vote.
Correct.
So if I vote and you win, I get.
No. Once we get the beef on the table, then we'll decide.
Then we'll cut up a little piece for you. That's what they tried. That's what they told
because you can't eat pork. Nation of Islam says you don't want pork, and you know, pork's bad for you.
It's bad for you and all that.
Pork hates you. And that's what Dr. Anderson was saying. And people, I've talked to people who I know who are entrenched in this beef philosophy. And it's like, how many times do you have to sit down at dinner? Lucy, I'm gonna kick this football. Lucy is the black, Charlie Brown is the black.
You got beans and rice.
Charlie Brown is the black community, and Lucy is the what? Establishment.
Yeah. And you get beans and rice.
Yeah. You land on your ass every time you try.
No pork, no beef. Beans and rice.
Beans and rice, and the leftover scraps, that, you know, the fat and the worst part of the beef.
They ain't
You
even
know,
giving that.
you're not getting no ground chuck?
They not giving nothing. You're not getting no beef. You're not getting no pork. You don't even want it. You want chicken. They ain't even got chicken on the menu.
No, so this is good. So then in this scenario, what we're saying is, if they need your vote to decide between beef and pork, and if Self Love saying we don't eat any of that, just get them to guarantee, hey, look, somebody's got to throw us, you know, herbs, some fresh this and that, get us some chicken or some fish. Yeah, or some fish. You get that for us, because that's what we want.
And then you can get the vote.
And if you can guarantee that, you can eat all the beef or all the pork you want. You know what I mean?
And you'll be in office. We'll give you the vote.
Right. Right.
We don't get chicken, no herbs,
nothing.
No beef, nothing. That's not going to work. I mean, I don't see how people can be insane and do the same thing and expect a different result just because of fear, because it's all a show anyway. Shit show at that, but it's all a show anyway. That's
so how much time you give it before they start running all the I don't want to say clowns out, but all of the people to shape our minds to start voting a certain way up and down the ticket like little slaves? How long do you think it's going to be before those campaigns start running?
Next week. It's probably already running.
Haven't seen many of them, but you know, I don't watch much TV.
Right.
You know what
it's
I mean?
all over the place. They got them on every channel, and it's a shit show.
Yeah.
They want, yeah.
No, those are our challenges, and then that would show unity. I mean, I guess, you know, so, you know, maybe we need to do some sort of flow chart. Just lay it all out there. What's been promised, what's been not promised, what's been accomplished, what's happened. Like, you remember Biden, he was supposed to be police reform. As soon as he got in, it was, let's send the money to Ukraine.
I mean,
and as soon as we get this Ukraine situation up,
Biden.
You know, well, they need to save democracy. They got to save democracy on the other side of the world.
There's no democracy here. That's the fucking fallacy. The Constitution was what they supposed to be following, but
you mean Republic?
Yeah, the Republic. And then there's no mention. I challenge any of our viewers. I challenge you.
Challenge himself. Challenge.
I challenge you.
You
Tell
better not say
everybody
nothing ignorant, because we're
Tell
ready.
everybody you know. Go to the Constitution and look for the word democracy. I challenge you. You will not find it once, ladies and gentlemen, but you have all these compromised politicians talking about a challenge to our democracy, challenge to our democracy. Got every major media station, a challenge to our democracy. They want to get rid of our democracy. I think it's democracy and democracy, and it ain't a damn democracy.
Man, a republic means that states are supposed to retain their sovereignty.
Yeah, it's 50 countries for all intensive purposes.
Yeah, sovereign states.
Yeah, they give power to the national government.
Only during certain times.
Yeah.
In certain situations.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, you must as well wipe your bum with the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights ever since the Patriot Act.
Yeah, well, that's fact, because that, you know, they've been operating off that ever since.
Yeah.
And it's full of democracy.
They could be fighting a little war with the Kenyan Bloods. You know, it'd be just a set of the blood gang in Kenya. They'll call that a war without Congress declaring it a war. And because we're at war with the Bloods in Kenya, we get to take all your rights, send all your hard-earned money to the Ukraine.
Our reparations.
Yeah, Congress hasn't declared war on Russia. We shouldn't even be involved in it.
Yeah, well.
We should not be able to send them money, but Congress did come out and prove it some kind of way.
We are not involved in it. This illegitimate
Congress represents the people.
this illegitimate government. No,
What do you
they
mean? You don't
Congress.
trust your lawmakers?
No, they're part of the corporation. They are just employees.
You saw that guy who didn't know who he was. What's his name? Did you see the video? The congressman.
McConnell.
Yes. Go ahead. What did he do? So, I'll ask you the question. Senator McConnell, we're sending money to the Ukraine, and the President Putin just said that he's going to use his drones on American soil. What do you say about that?
Well, I just thought that we would send the money to Ukraine, and we
It's not funny, but it's, you know what I mean?
It's MK Ultra.
Listen. I want everybody to hear this now. Self-love, if my family's running me out there, I'm giving you the power right now. I'm so blessed to meet his age, and I'm out here front and center, and somebody still got me a spokesperson of some corporation or some shebang, and I'm out there doing that. I give you the power. Pull this clip up and say, no, damn what his family's saying. He doesn't want to be running up out there like that. You know what I mean? Seriously. So that's cruelty to elders. We
That's
have laws
MK
against it.
Ultra. It's MK Ultra. He's been MK Ultra a long time. It just sat there. It didn't fulfill the whole program. These clones they don't be all the way on point.
All right. We digress. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to the poll question. All right. We do digress, but that clones.
It's edutainment, y'all.
Yeah. No, I mean, cloning. They don't want to talk about that. I don't think we've done a show on cloning. Let me see.
Not fully, but I've mentioned it quite a few times. Cloning since the 40s. 1940s.
It was sheep, wasn't it? It was just sheep dolly.
That was 80s. That was 80s
in the morning.
That was when?
80s or 90s. That dolly. I'm talking about humans humans. Not the gods, but the humans.
Well, so we asked the TATN, the internet, Dr. Claude Anderson's Powernomics strategy is option 1, bona fide genius. Option 2, it'll never work. Option 3, capitalist exploitation repackaged. Option 4, what's Powernomics? Option 5, unsure. Okay. Now, my response was bona fide genius. I thought he was way out in front of this thing. He thought it through. Once I figured out this guy was from Chicago, that gave me a little more, because cats be trying to say, oh, Barack's from Chicago, and I'm like, no, he didn't come up
he's
with
not. No, he's not. Wasn't born. No, he's not at all.
No.
In fact, food for thought. Who does Barack Obama remind you of? Chicago native, an actor.
An actor from Chicago?
Harry Lennox.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you do. You just don't think you do. It's an asshole in the Matrix.
Yeah. I know you're
Get
talking
on the
about.
bus. Yeah, all of
Yeah. No, you're saying he fashioned his character after him?
Yeah, literally, while he was in Chicago, he hung with him to learn how to
pattern himself after him. Yeah.
Yes, and if you look at that, you'll see it bright as day. Like,
interesting. So what did you select on that poll?
Bona fide genes.
So 57% of the voters agreed with us. 0% actually said it'll never work. I found that interesting. Found that really interesting.
That's good. That's
interesting. Now, 14% said capitalist exploitation repackaged. You know, because whenever business people come out and talk like this, Bob Johnson's done it. I've even heard like some of the Panthers talking about it. Capitalism is capitalism. At the end of the day, somebody's going to be exploited. Yeah. And heard them say, I don't care who's exploiting me. I don't care if they're black, white, purple, or blue. You know, exploitation.
I mean, if we need to achieve something and we can move in the same direction and run this so-called social construct race, and that's where, you know, etymology and words come in. You know, racism, not about all who you like or hate. They might not even care.
And we can structure our small businesses so that they're more socially conscious. Meaning, okay, it's nice that you sponsor a baseball team every now and then. That's better than nothing. But how about let's pay the employees $2 more an hour, and we all, you know, if we can get in this community, we're going to pay a higher percentage for people who live near here.
How about everybody, from the CEO to the lowest, puts in,
get paid the same amount of money?
No, put in a percentage of what they pay to a pot for us all to move and grow together. Same percentage amongst all the people. So, you know, the more you make, the more you're contributing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You know, yeah, we talked about that, like a tax.
It's not a tax, it's collective economics. Call it that.
You can call it what you want. It's a tax. But I hear you. I hear you.
Only for those who want to be involved, and those will only be the people that have any proceeds or anything out of it. Because I don't think we need 100% everybody. I won't need everybody to deal with it or do it. 100% involvement. We don't need 100% involvement. We need the people that feel that way and are going to be involved, the like minds.
Yeah, well,
it is a social construct, and we could work within, and we could work within what we have to work with.
Yeah, I feel better with more equal distribution of the money. I mean, like the CEO shouldn't be getting paid, 700% more than the workers. You know, I think within capitalism, you can ease the strain of it. Okay, so now, as I was saying, a fair wage. Now, I'm not taxing the employees any extra for a social pot, as you're stating. What I'm doing at that point is also taxing the companies. They pay their social wage if they expect their stores not to get burned down. Now, I'm not saying nobody's going to burn their stores down. We're not suggesting violence. But I'm saying, now, the idea is for this to work is that now we're educating the employees when they spend money to go to within the network, right? So then your money's recycling. Those at the top aren't getting all the money. See, that's the problem with capitalism. You got a CEO who gets $800 million, gets fired for dumb shit, gets another $400 million, and that money could be more evenly distributed with the workers, kind of like the NFL. 40% of money should go to the workers, 60% goes to the company.
I see what you're saying, but I was speaking within our network. I was not
Yeah, me too.
I was not telling everybody because most of our companies are not uh distributed like that. Like the black owned stuff is generally not 700. The person running is 700 more than percent of more than the workers. We won't generally have that many companies that are that big and deal like that within this capitalism. I mean, at least that I can think of. I'm not 100% right because there are some, I'm sure. But
Well,
I agree with you and completely in principle that.
Well, let's just say if it's a mom and
makes no
pop
sense.
store, and the store owner, to your point, it's not bringing in that much more, But at some point, if the store is claiming a profit, which most of them are, there's a percentage of that in-game profit that goes wherever, that can go into this pot. But I'm not in disagreement with you, but I want to get the money in the hands of the people, so to speak.
I as well. I want us to think along the lines of collective interest.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And
But that's bad. That's socialism. They call it communism and all those isms and get you caught up.
It's called racism in the United States, and that's how it's ran by all of the other so-called classes of race. They work together and make shit happen for them. And we should operate the same. I mean, like, even our so-called leaders, the caucuses, all of the caucuses, except for so-called
Caucus.
black caucus.
Have we done an etymology of that word caucus? But go ahead.
We've not, but all of the other caucuses are strictly about the race that they are are saying, like the Asian Americans, the Asian caucus, the Latina caucus, the white. Well, it ain't really a white caucus. That's all the other caucuses, and all of the other racial types are about one situation, except for the black caucus. They're about everybody's. So it's all the way something wrong with that. I know black is the amalgamation of no color, and it's actually pale or white is the real definition. But it includes everybody.
Well, caucus, private meeting of party leaders or local voters, 1763, American English, New England, perhaps from an Algonquin word, kawasu, which means counselor, elder, advisor. In the dialect of Virginia, or from the Caucus Club of Boston, a 1760 social and political club whose name possibly derived from modern Greek kalkos, which means drinking cup. Another old guess is calkers, meeting, but OED and Century Dictionary find this dismissible.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Algonquin because I think that's the oldest language out of what they talking about. So.
Yeah, and the Algonquins were in Illinois, weren't they? I know all over, but
yeah, I mean, it was a huge nation.
Yeah,
and it included many of the plains and south and southeast and Midwest and West. Midwest. There are some planes where the NAs.
So, all right. So anything else on this you want to touch on before we close it out? Big ups, Claude Anderson. Big ups.
Yeah, huge ups to Claude Anderson. We need to celebrate this man and give him his flowers. He has been on a mission for 30 plus years, even more than that, to try to wake us up and shake us up about what is happening and what will happen if we don't take control. It's up to us, y'all. The Self Luv Show. My love of self. Y'all are that. We are that. Y'all are that. Let's act like that. Let's please move as one towards a goal that's for us. That's what Powernomics is all talking about. 5-year plan, and we could implement it everywhere. And
he got his self-love vision on.
Get back to our rightful place.
Well, what do you think about this, Pookie off the street burger? Hear me out. We make it like he flipping burgers. Okay. So Pookie off the street burger, to my point, it could be like a higher end like Shake Shack for our community. Charge those Shake Shack prices. But instead of the corporation getting all this extra money for a damn burger, we pay that money to Pookie to keep Pookie off the what?
Well, let Pookie have the ownership. I mean, the Pookie that knows how to run a whole situation. Have him have his own situation.
Well, yes, after Pookie works, what I'm saying is I'm talking about Pookie off the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yes, the working is a form of training in itself, but that's how we can get them off the street. Because, okay, if I'm coming up and they say, yeah, man, you flipping burgers, you getting $8 an hour, and they can clown you. You got holes in your shoes.
We putting him in his whole own business.
Yeah, but before we do that, we got to teach him how to make a burger and how to work and how to punch a clock and make sure that, he's going to come to work and do what he's supposed to do. So what I'm saying is, I'm talking about Pookie, 16, 17 years old, who don't know how to run a business, who I'm not going to put in charge of the business until I know that Pookie knows what the hell Pookie's doing, and Pookie's not a thief like anybody else I would do business with. I know what you're saying. Yes, ultimately that's the goal. But Pookie off the street, hear me out. I'm talking about at the employee level. Instead of Pookie getting $12 an hour, $8 an hour to flip a burger, at Pookie Burger, we're paying these Pookies $20 an hour, $20 an hour to make this burger. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Now, when they're saying to Pookie, you flipping burgers, I'm at Pookie Burger. You understand me? I'm getting $20 an hour. I made $800 last week. How much you make last week? You know what I'm saying? So yes, to your point, yes, we can be grooming the Pookies, who've come off the street, who've worked with you, and you can, and now they can own franchises. Yes. But I'm talking about Pookie off the street. What you're talking about is Pookie's dad off the street, which can be a program that runs together. But yes, Pookie's dad can be ex-offenders, maybe people, who've come out of jail, who've got a business acumen. We can train Pookie's dad, and then they can, get the respect of the young thugs who are out there who it's beneath them to flip a burger. What I'm saying is we've got to make it worth their while financially. This is what I'm saying. And where the community comes in, you're going to pay a little more for that burger. And you might say, well, why would they pay more for that burger? And I might say, well, why would you go down there and take your family to Shake Shack? Why are you going to Starbucks and paying $12 for a cup of coffee? Why are you going to Shake Shack and paying $18 and $20? Why don't you just come to Pookie Burger? We got these Pookies off the street. You know, it's open 24 hours, so, and those Pookies are working, you know, after 10 p.m. It's like midnight basketball. You come in here and work a 6-hour shift, make you $120. That's what I'm saying. Pookie Burger off the street. No? You just want to make all them business owners?
Well, I think they would work at 24/7 if the owners was gonna make sure that, you know.
Yeah, I'm talking 16-year-olds. I'm talking about the ones that are
right. That's
15, 16. The ones that are jumping in.
Definitely not what I'm talking about. Definitely.
Yeah. No. Pookie off the street burgers. This Self, I think we can galvanize the community behind it. You know, why would I go there? Because we're keeping Pookie off the street. Yes, we pay our employees more, you know what I'm saying? But to your point, you have a great point, you know, but we're working them into a management program where they're getting paid training of this, where they can go open up their own Pookie off the street type of restaurants or whatever they want to. But we're proving that this model works, you know, as opposed to the corporation getting all of the profits. It's going to the Pookies. They're seeing another way. They're working with other former Pookies and regular professional people. They're getting the mentorship, and they can hold their heads up high because you know, Self, it's a difference between, okay, you can go out here and make $300 or $400 maybe. I don't know what the average Pookie's making when they're working for the mob. I don't think it's that much if they're just, you know, a day-to-day handler.
16-year-old.
Yeah. Yes. So we're telling you, you can get that money over here, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we're telling you
$20 and
$20 an hour.
So, you know, they can get 160. You know, it's admirable. I think,
you know what I mean?
Something that could be processed.
Pookie Burger. There it is. We won't call it Pookie off the street burger.
It might have to be subsidized though, because 24 hours and, you know,
I hear you.
Employees.
How many Pookies you can get off the street at $20 an hour?
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be, you know, some subsidizing going on. But
if it's marketed right, bro.
I think we could subsidize it though. I mean, amongst we
can approach
our spending. If we can get a quarter of it, will be a big as a top 10, top 15 nation spending. If we can get a quarter of our collectiveness to working in the
but locally, Self.
Yes.
Locally. I say we put pen to paper, we write a letter to Lil Durk's people. We pen a letter to hey, listen, man. You listen to me before you start making faces and saying no. You haven't even heard what I'm gonna say. You pen a letter to Little Durk's people. You pen a letter to Sosa's people. You pen a letter to those, not just them, but I'm going to pen a letter to them, and it's going to say something to, hey, I know you guys, you know, like to give back to the community, you know, which they do, you know, and listen, we're starting Pookie Burger. You know, and we can name this burger after King Von. We can name this burger after FBG Duck. Here's what I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? And you guys help subsidize this. Once again, I'm not looking for subsidies because that's not what this is about. This ain't about subsidies. We got to get away we're moving away from subsidies.
My issue is that we need to move away from the entertainers to help, because, I mean, if we do it on the low, then some of them might, but in their contracts they can't really deal with us like that. They can't be out front helping.
Well, they don't have to be out front. You're talking about subsidy. Look, they're going to write a check. I'm not saying they will. Maybe they'll say no. Maybe they'll tell me to go kick rocks.
That's true, but I'm just my whole thing. Just because I said, you know, get away
but
from them.
we don't have to just stop. We don't have to just stop the letters with them. Those letters can go on to you know, business people and everything. But to your point, yes, it would have to be subsidized. So I agree. I'm looking for other ways to subsidize it, besides waiting on the government to sit back. Now, saying you were
the
saying
government.
figure out, we got to figure out how we're going to get the money. No, we pen these letters self. Pookie Burger. It's catchy.
No, it's 100%.
Pookie Burger.
You are an amazing.
I'm an idealist.
Great idea,
Yes.
man.
Yes.
The ideas.
We just need a model. We need a chef to come up with the perfect Pookie Burger. Then we got the Von Burger, and we got the FBG Duck Burger. We got the Walter Payton Burger. Pookie Burger. We're keeping these Pookies off the street. $20 an hour. What happens is, man, you working at Pookie Burger? Man, he just bought a new car. Man, you know what I'm saying? $20 an hour and benefits. I forgot to throw that in there. That's key. Benefits. Yeah, it would have to be subsidized, but we're going to charge it like Shake Shack. I got to look at the prices of Shake Shack, but they've proven that people will pay money for nonsense. Now, this is a mission. When you come to Pookie Burger, I can see the commercials.
Shake Shack, I think I've had it was a mushroom burger and a stuffed with cheese, and it was absolutely delicious. But mushroom and cheese and bread should not be $9.
So you didn't have the beef.
No, I don't.
You just had the mushroom and the cheese, but it was delicious.
Oh.
Yes. So when you come to Pookie Burger,
it's going to be delicious.
Yeah, it's more than a burger. You know what I mean? And you can sit out there.
It's experience.
I had commercials.
Everything.
I had commercials. You'd be sitting there with one of the Pookies, and he'd be out there telling on himself. Yeah, I used to be out there shooting everybody. Man, I started working at Pookie Burger, taking selfies with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, every day we've been trying to develop the Pookies so we could get them off the street and we could have peace and good food in the hood.
That's right. And don't tell me Pookie Burger, you couldn't have a Pookie Burger in every hood. And with the commercials are coming to a hood near you. Pookie Burger. Pookie Shakes.
They subsidize, so shit, it's gonna be good food.
I'm telling you, as a customer, if Pookie Burger existed, I'm going. That's all I'm saying. If somebody told me this is their platform, you know what I mean? You pay a little more for a burger.
It's got to be good product, though.
Yeah, it's got to be a good product. But that's where you can get. You're going to get to your point. You're going to get another Pookie who's a master chef. You know what I mean? To get together and put together a burger your community likes.
Anybody put together the whole menu and the menu and the recipe, and as long as it's followed properly and spread across,
that's right.
Pookie Burger is gonna be
Pookie Burger.
It's got to be consistent everywhere. It can't be Pookie Burger good over here and Pookie Burger ain't shit over there.
No, it can't be Harold's. Can't be like Harold's. No.
It's got to be the same recipe.
Standards. And I love the idea. You're working, you're going to have those ones that stand out, and you're going to be like, man, we're going to put you in the management program, and our management program isn't for you to be a slave. Our management program is for, you to get your own franchise.
Yes.
We'll put you in it, but you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it as you make money. You know what I mean? But yes. And now, will there still be crime in the street?
Yes.
Absolutely. There's going to be some Pookies that don't want $20 an hour.
Well, there's just going to be some people that ain't qualified for the program, and they going to
you mean they're not qualified to flip burgers? Tell them they don't have to get in the program. They can flip burgers for $20 an hour.
No, there are people that are not qualified that cannot get in.
You're talking about Richard Burger. Big ups to Richard.
Come on time and dressed with some clean stuff on and be able to cook.
You're bringing up great points. Every Pookie Burger has to have a locker room, has to have a shower. Listen, we'll do all the laundry. We'll keep your uniform, your name tag. We don't need none of your excuses. Because most of us don't want to be seen in a Pookie Burger uniform. Nobody wanted to walk down the block in a McDonald's.
It's a whole program.
It's a whole, We're removing all of your little Pookie excuses. You know what I mean? And here's the important part. You got to have silverbacks running these places that know how to what? Communicate with these Pookies without getting themselves shot in the face. I'm one of those guys. I can communicate with Pookie without making him. He'll, hey, should I pistol whip him? But then I know how to pull it back. Hey, come on, Pookie, you get paid.
No, they're not. No, they, you don't have to deal with that. You don't have to do that. That's.
You guys let us know. I think Pookie Burger is brilliant. It's just one start, but this whole thing, Pookie Bowl, you know what I mean? This whole thing, we're building a whole community. These Pookies have jobs. Now I'm able to sit back and say, listen, Pookie, listen, man. You know what I'm saying? you know what I'm saying? You're still out here on the street corner, doing this. But I hear your point. I don't know that. Yeah, there's going to be some that fall. What can you do? I don't know. We got to find something. Can't save them all.
Listen, this matrix that we're in is.
Some said it's going to be some of them that can't flip a burger.
They can't.
This is amazing. You're talking about the responsibility behind it all.
Showing up at the same time, showing up on time, being directly directed. Everybody's not built for that.
Wow.
Especially right now.
So we definitely had to start them in the program early. The earlier the better. 14, 15 years old, get permission from their parents. We start them out, you're only getting $16 an hour. After a year in the Pookie program, you're going to go up to 20. You like that?
Yeah, it's going to be a work in progress, and we're going to work on the whole structure of it.
You got to pay Pookie, man. If Pookie don't get paid,
no. We got to pay him.
He's going to jump in.
It might be more than that. They need to be paid because, if you're selling whatever you're selling, you sell 6 bags in an hour, then you're making more than $20 maybe.
Well, that's if those are your bags. The average everyday Pookie is what they call a crash test
not his bags. That's why I said 6. You know what I mean?
Well, let's just say if they're out there selling dubs, the person whose bags they are might be making $10 off each one. So how much is he going to be able to pay that Pookie? And how long does it take to sell those bags? You know what I'm saying? And these are the things we're saying to Pookie.
Yeah, I get that part, but it's hourly rate is what most Pookies won't understand. Is what I'm getting at. They like $20 an hour. Shit,
but you got to have people like me bringing it down to them. Like,
how I can make 150, and I can sell 150, and it ain't.
But that's probably only 2 days out the week, and you probably only get
right.
4
That's my whole
shift.
part.
You got to start breaking the math down to them, though. You know what I'm saying? Now you in juvie home. Now you got now you ain't working. You ain't making no money while you in there. You eating noodles. You got to do all that math for Pookie and lay it out there in front of them.
Yeah. The only whole problem with that is they getting all their meals paid for when they in juvie.
Well, there you go. You just hit another point. In Pookie, you get a meal a day when you work. Yeah, Pookie can't show up for that. What I'm saying, we can't save all the Pookies, but I think we can put a dent in. I think we can put a dent.
Even if we don't have no frills and all of that, we definitely can put a dent in it. But there gonna be some people that's not going still.
Right.
Period.
Right. That just don't want to work.
No.
A job.
And I don't blame them. I really don't. It's like for it to be a complete disconnect from this slavery that we're in to this freedom, there's got to be a complete disconnect. So I don't have a problem with that. I really don't.
But that's when you're working for them. But now you're working for your community. You're working for this business in your community that's part of the community.
Part of that can't depend on the community because the community has been compromised and allowed all this bullshit the whole time. That's why I'm cool with the total disconnect along with the connectedness, so that at some point we can end on the other side of this horrendous crap that has been placed upon our people since these people came here and talking about they fought a civil war and all of that crap. Revolutionary period. We were way better before that, but I guess
I 100% get your point. You know, my mindset was different, but I do know, to your point, yeah, Pookie, 8 hours would be a lot for Pookie. You're gonna get a 5-hour shift, so essentially you're getting $100. Bro, Pookie can't live off that, with the low end bills and figure out a way to make that. Hey, look, Pookie, then you could take some money and put some bags on the street, whatever it is, Pookie. But you got to learn how to do shit another way. So when you show up to court, you can show that you got a job and you can wash some of your money. I'm not saying I'm telling Pookie all this, but Pookie, there's a better way to do what it is that you is doing or that you ain't doing. But what I'm saying is, let's talk about the positives. You're not getting shot at. You know what I'm saying.
Depending on what you did, because shit, no matter where your ass at, you could be at a job, motherfucker, shoot your ass.
Yeah, I mean, we can worst case scenarioize everything. You know what I'm saying?
But these motherfuckers, you can be making some honest money. That's a great.
Yeah, some good money.
Yeah, you can Pookie Burger, honest, good money.
Bro, here's the thing. Grown people would be trying to get hired at Pookie Burger. And, we ain't going to hire you unless you're an ex-offender. If you're older than, you can't start here if you're older than 17, 18, unless you're an ex-offender. You know what I'm saying? Because, yes, we'd love to hire you, but this is Pookie Burger. You're not a Pookie. You're 26 years old. You know what I mean?
They're definitely 26-year-old Pookies.
This program ain't for them, though.
Okay.
I'm sorry. They're going to get slipped.
30-year-old Pookies.
Yeah. We got to start young, and you know what I mean? Yeah. And put this money towards them. You know what I mean? And see, another thing, Pookie, you're getting a good work history. If you don't get in the management program, Pookie, we got Pookie Car Wash over here. We got Pookie this, Pookie that, Pookie everything. You know what I'm saying? Pookie Park. Pookie Park has a ring to it, don't it? Pookie Park. You got the Pookie basketball tournament. You know what I mean? Pookie lives matter. I love Pookies. You know what I'm saying? I was a Pookie once, and we can't leave Ray Ray out. I digress.
You were never a Pookie, so
I mean, I tell people we all got Pookie in us. You know what I'm saying? Pookie is us, and you're a Pookie. I'm a Pookie. She's a Pookie. Wouldn't you like to be a Pookie too? Be a Pookie. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is,
I'm still gonna say you were never
in the eyes of the Gestapo, we're Pookies. That's the point I'm making. We all potentially could be Pookies. And this is a way to give them another way. Because you remember we was coming up, minimum wage was $3.35. I wasn't even a Pookie, and I was like, y'all can kiss my ass. I found a way to become a waiter and get tips and make money in other ways. Maybe I was shimming off the cash register, scoop, scoop, scoop. Maybe I wasn't. But what I'm saying is they don't have to do that. Stace dude to work a Saturday night and turn into management $20 on a drive-through at a pizza restaurant that was booming on a major college campus. He only made $20 a night when normally we make $1,800 out of this window.
Yeah, me and Ace in Ponderosa. Oh boy, we ate good.
I used to ring y'all up for the 95-cent soda, and it was all you can eat.
Yep. Ding, 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 ding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it was wonderful.
Oh, all you can eat. But we digress. So it's just food for thought for any business people.
Digress.
Get with it. Holla at me. Pookie Burger. And we can move on from there. Power now. Pookie is power. We can tweak that. We can turn that around. Pookie power. Pookie power. This restaurant's powered by Pookie. You're liking it.
No, I like Poofy off the street more than anything.
It's powered by Pookie. Pookie off the street, and people will come eat, and we would encourage other races. Every burger you buy from here helps us keep a Pookie off the street. You know what I mean? And then, and then I was showing them you can buy property. This little $20 an hour, you living with your mom, and she's on Section 8. You better save some of this money, Pookie. In fact, we're going to keep $10 an hour of it for you. You like that? And you got to work here 3 years. You got to work here 3 years or you forfeit all of your monies.
So the $20 goes down to $10.
$10 for 2 years. 2 years. But then after 2 years, you're all vested and we can give you all your money. 2 years, Pookie. No? All right. Well, maybe $15 an hour and we'll hold $5 back. Pookie's not going to save money. That's the point I'm making. Forced saving program. $5 an hour goes into your kitty, and that's your money, Pookie. You can use it however you want. You want some Jordans? You come to us and say, "Hey, can I get some money out of my Pookie plan? You know what I mean, for these Jordans?" And he pays them. So we'll figure it out, Self. We got enough money. You know what I mean, Pookie. All right. But Powernomics is a comprehensive plan for Black economic empowerment. It's based on the idea that Black folks need to take control of our destiny and build power. It's been praised by many for its insights and solutions, but it also has its critics. Self Love says these critics may or may not have been compromised out there. But they criticize it. They say it's focusing on separatism and self-reliance. Ultimately, the success of Powernomics will depend on the willingness of foundationally Black American people to embrace the principles and work together to achieve their goals. Should you have any feedback, questions, concerns, suggestions for any future episodes, feel free to contact us either in the comments or you can call or text 424-900-6945. That number's what? Troll free. 424-900-6945. That number is 100,000% troll free. Now, we'd love to hear from you and learn more about your thoughts and opinions on this genius, Dr. Claude Anderson, and his economic social development strategy. Remember, ask not what our culture can do for you, but what you can do for our culture. As always, question everything out there. The Self Love Show ain't Kansas, Dorothy. Peer down the rabbit hole. Do your own research. Use your own discernment. But use caution. Because sometimes when you go ahead and stare into the abyss, okay, the abyss may stare right back at you. Till next time, peace and self-love, honor, and respect. All right, so we had a big riddle. You guys were smart enough to solve it. So big ups to Chicago Public Schools and Self-Love. What occurs once in a minute, twice in a moment, and never in 999 years? How'd you process that, Self?
Well, I listen and I hear every single word, and it's all important. And it said once, and then twice, and then never. I listened to the words and process that the letter M was it. That's it. That's all.
Not surprised you came up with it. Very surprised why Kill came up with it. He's an athlete. He's an athlete.
I'm not. I'm an athlete. I mean, what are you talking about?
All right.
We went to the same private school in grammar school. So
yeah, that's what I said. The little Cosby.
He went, no, not the same schools that I went to. That was the normal school that I went to.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was still extraordinary because the people in the teaching. But he went to public high school.
Yeah.
CVS.
All right. Chill. Did he know Chill? That's a big school. Though.
Yes, they graduated together. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Chill. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yep.
All right. So, yeah. Did he know Morrow? Morrow was only there like a year. He was behind us too, and he was only there like a year. Rest his soul, maybe 2. Morrow was what? Morrow was 3-4 years behind us. Now that I think about it,
I think 5.
Yeah.
I don't think he was even there when Chill and
No.
I don't think he was there then. I think he was 5 years behind us.
Yeah. All right, and then so next week on the Self Love Show, we may have a guest. We're working the book. One of Self Love's people. This will be natural healing. I have to confirm the dates though.
Self Love Health Series.
Yes. We're going to be continuing that. If not, maybe we'll take a look at cloning.
Hey, we can. I'm with it.
Yeah, we haven't unpacked cloning.
No, I've heard a lot of information, and it's like I said numerous times, TATN, but they've been doing it since the 40s.
Yeah. Cloning.
At least the information research I've done. And it's the reason why they say that a lot of this DNA evidence is 99.99% because there are like 7 identical DNAs on the planet for most people.
All right, we're going to get into that. And Sunday, live right here on TATN on Mouthpiece Included, Black Billiards, sport, or just a nickel slick hustle. Yeah, I think, Black folks should take pool more seriously.
No, we invented it, and I'm sure of that, and completely mastered it. And the so-called masters have been put on a pedestal in tournaments and things of such. I think you're going to find out that the best that ever lived and did it is our people here in from this Republic of Turtle Island.
Well, why aren't we doing it professionally anymore? Like, look at that there. That's Dr. King out there with a behind the back shot, bro, with slapjack looking at him in the back. Like, look at that, boy.
I'm just saying,
Remember, y'all used to get down, boy, when we got down there in the dorms, freshman year, boy.
Not allowed to participate.
Yeah, I wish we'd have thought about that, boy. I don't even know if they had intramural pool leagues. It's never crossed my mind,
Man,
the way we.
I took billiards at U of I. So 1 hour A.
Yeah, but did they have like an intramural, like MP, like the way we had the football and the basketball tournaments?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that would have, boy, out of that shit, boy. That would have been cold.
The lady, the frail white lady, master billiards player that taught the class.
Was she cold?
Oh, I never seen her miss a shot.
Never.
Like, whether it was set up from somebody else doing something,
right?
Yeah, or she set up a trick shot. Of course she gonna hit those. But I'm saying, like, somebody else would break and she would run the whole table.
Wow! From any random table set.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, tell us about how she's going.
She probably wasn't as old as you thought she was, because you was a lot younger.
Yeah, but she was in her 40s or 50s.
Yeah, you made it sound like she was an old lady.
I mean, I was 19.
That's what I'm saying.
And she was YT. So, but like, somebody else would break. She'd be like, have somebody else break. And then she would knock in every ball in order. I never saw.
So did you learn something from her that you were able to use?
A whole lot. Like, she she would say what she's doing before she do it. Like,
and you were sitting there processing.
Yeah, before every shot, she'd say what she's going to do.
You went down there and signed up for pool. You had to have something to counteract those engineering classes, huh, Sal?
Oh yeah, and there was a extracurricular pledging too.
Yeah, you had to pay that GPA. Yeah.
Oh yeah, got A right out of that class.
All right, y'all. So y'all know what that sound means. That brings me to my favorite part of the whole shebang, and it's gonna be wordsmiths. Final. I'll cut it up to words out there. Yeah.
We talking Dr. Claude Anderson and Powernomics. I want y'all to give him his flowers while he's still here. This master genius told us how to prepare, or we would be dealing in dire situations. And he's right, but it's never too late. It's time for us to concentrate and demonstrate a way to inaugurate a higher plane back from which we came. Honestly, a lot of shit we do now is kind of lame to our legacy, because y'all know what we came from. We built this universe. The architecture is from our mind texture to bring into the physical lecture. I know we need to inspect or like gadget, because most things have so much technology that it appears like magic. And we got the power like we man. I ain't talking about He-Man, I'm talking about the melanated pack. Let everybody know that we on the attack. We're about to take it back. We talking about everything that is in fact the physical realm, the matrix we live in. We are back at the helm. And I know race is a social construct, but the opposite end act like they don't give a fuck where they came from. Like Yakub didn't create them. The older I get, the more I know it's the truth. Words.
Well done, my brother. As per usual, well done.
Do you think you are the one?
Honestly, I don't know.
No, I'm the one, goddammit.
You know what that means? It's Latin. It means know thyself.
Bullets are boomerangs.
Stand your ground.
Murder, that's suicide.
Yeah. An eye for an eye.
Silence is violence.
You see something, say something.
12. Slave there. Greed plus ego, overfear, and slavery.
Yeah, man. It's charity plus humility times love is freedom.
Do not answer questions.
Question everything.
Fears and illusion. It's all cap.
Vibrate love. It's all it is.
Forgiveness is the highest love vibration.
Facts. So do something charitable for a so-called enemy and end the beef.
Healthy people. Heal down people.
I know for sure that hurt people is gonna try to hurt people.
Free Larry Hoover, man.
Free Jeff Ford.
Free all the guys, man.
Prison is slavery.
Be Yahushua. Walk on water.
Yeah, man. Most definitely. Move mountains.
Whole mountain, bro?
Easily, if you perceive it. See, all we need is the faith of a mustard seed, and it'll get right out the way.
Word?
We do it every week. It's a process.
He said, I will eat the right foods that I grow myself.
That's so dope.
Because the wrong way stole my health.
He dope.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
Gonna make a song with
Being
him.
the one is just like being in love. No one can tell you you're in love, you just know it. Through and through. Balls to bones.